This tutorial guides you through the steps to create a bootloader using MCUboot and perform a firmware update with new firmware. Create a new RA6M5 or RA6M4 project for MCUboot. Select the device and complete the project creation wizard. Create a firmware project based on the sample project in the application note. The firmware project includes the capability to update firmware using USB or UART. Open the OTA workflow view and select MCUboot from the Cloud drop-down list. Select the bootloader project and the firmware project. Configure the MCUboot settings by following the guide. Configure the board support package to ensure that you have the necessary stack and heap. Add the MCUboot module. Add the encryption and flash modules, then click the Generate Project Content button. Modify the MCUboot settings in the FSP visualization view. The necessary settings for MCUboot will be modified and the remaining errors will be resolved. Use developer assistance to add the code that invokes MCUboot to hell_entry.c. Create initial firmware in the OTA workflow view. Specify python.exe to use and generate a key file. The project build process begins. Wait until it is complete. Write the created initial firmware to the board. Create new firmware. Make necessary changes, but only update the version this time. Connect the board to the PC with a USB cable and use Terraterm to verify the initial firmware. Enter 1 to confirm the firmware version. Enter 2 to update the firmware. Use Terraterm to send new firmware. After the update process is complete, enter 1 to confirm that the updated firmware is running.